This morning I'm at the headquarters and I wanted to talk to you about how to make independent weld money. Had a few people ask me about a formula, maybe a some rules that you might go by to help get you started. And actually, man, to be honest with you, the the best way to get started, I got really three key things, but I want you to look at it from a spectrum because you, when you're starting to get independent money, you got to start your foundation while you got the job. Like what you do is, which is number one, is start taking photos and videos, most definitely photos, small videos of your job while you're working on that job. Some places say, oh, you can't have it, but if you know you ain't planning on being there, get some photos of your work. Don't try to be obvious, but I have done it, and listen, it had paid me so much because by me having evidence that I was there, showing that I did it, or me in the photo, or doing the work, or showing different scenes of different independent jobs that I have got from the work I have done, working for someone, has opened up many doors for me. So the first thing I would say do is start getting you a portfolio, a gallery of work. So I have noticed that in certain areas, certain independent people that will be putting up in like Craigslist and different ads on different online sites, they only have like a few photos. Now I think Craigslist allow you to get like 24 photos. So I think you should have 24 different photos of your work because literally I have had people call me and tell me that they seen a photo of something that they was doing and they say, oh yeah, he can do this, let's call him off the photo. So having photos of your work, some good, it don't have to be no super good camera, but most people's phones got decent cameras. You keep it clean, get you some good photos, and you'd be surprised how having a gallery of your work would take you. Like, I really think it's a no-brainer. Like, we really have to do that, and you're gonna have to do that while you on the job. So you might be, I know guys that started taking photos 5 years before, and then once they got ready, they start releasing different stuff. Man, they had a gallery of stuff. Like, I got a lot of different photos that I saved over my time of working for someone and on different independent jobs that I use to this day. So I think that it's smart to build you a gallery. That'll be number one. Get you a gallery. Number two would be is have an inventory of one. If you are providing a product and you got your own product, you at least want to have your inventory of one. Promote that one, you sell that one, make another one, and that way you always have at least one. Now, if you know that things get to picking up, it's starting to flow more, then start having an inventory of two and three and four. You know what I mean? Start building up. But it's first, I would say it's very, very wise if you're going to get this independent money, especially if you're building a product, if you're offering handrails, if you're offering a staircase, if you're offering some type of fabricated product that you came up with. I think it's good that you come up with your own prototype to display, to show not only as a display, but also as something that you can sell. They want that. How some people say, hey, can I have that? Have you ever went to the store and you look for something and like all they got is a display level? You say, hey, can I get this? They be like, no, you can't take that. That's a display. Well, as independent money, we're gonna be like, yeah, you can get this one. We're gonna make another one because we're gonna keep that one in inventory. So even though that one is a display, it's also for sale. You see what I'm saying? So keep that in mind where that way you'll always be ready to make money because you never know. Like I done had people call me sometimes, especially when I was in Phoenix. I done had two welding skids sold at the same time and made $1,000 in one day. Now, in order for me to do that, I had to already be ready. I had the vertical and the horizontal ready because I offered two different versions. So I feel I need to have one of both. So when the time come, I don't have to jump and get ready real quick. I can go on and make that money, then fall back and make a couple more or, duplicate them or whatever. But I think that it's real wise that we would keep an inventory of one. And another reason why I say inventory of one is because getting started being independent, you don't want to have all your money tied into inventory. I have done it before in different merch. I have done it before, get started trying to do different businesses. And all it does is tie up money that you can use in other business ventures or other things to help you build that business. So don't get caught up in buying a whole lot of inventory where you're sitting on it and even basically giving it away, or it's getting outdated or whatever. You know what I mean? So I would say just, especially if you're a fabricator, at least make one or whatever you're trying to offer. That way someone can see it at any time. Yeah, come check this out. And if they want that one, let them get it. I used to always say on my cars, I love to flip cars. I used to buy the old schools and get them ready and flip them. And I kept the title on me all the time. I kept the title in the glove box locked, just in case if I'm flossing or something, you never know what hustler might see. It's like, oh man, let me get that. You can get it for the right price. I can't tell y'all how many times I have done it. I ride with the title on me. You know what I'm saying? Just in case somebody want it. You know what I'm saying? Just in case somebody want to buy it. You know what I mean? So I liked it to flip cars. So I got that concept because I didn't want to be somewhere and someone offered me a amount. I got to go way back home and try to get it, this and this. But I didn't live with it. A lot of people know I had it on me, but I had it on me because that's what I did. I was flipping them. You know what I mean? And you never know if you run across a cat that got some money that want to network with you. So I thought it was wise. Number 3, you want to make sure that you post on online markets of your services and products. Like, make sure you take advantages of the Craigslist and the Facebook market, especially when you can pay the $5 or $10 or whatever to promote your deal. Some things you can do for free, like if you're just selling random stuff. But if you really want to market, spending that $5 or $10 or $20 a month on certain items, I think it's very wise. So I think that you should most definitely have you a basic one on Craigslist. Have you a few different ads on there. Spend you about $20 on Craigslist, $25 on there. Networking with that, and then having something on something else like OfferUp. I want to make this comment real quick. My wife, I showed her a few things, and this is just to go to show you. I want to say this too, because networking is key. And when you're advertising properly, sometimes you have to change your face up. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Like, that's why on my logo, when you see come to my page, it's my hog. It's just not of me personally, but you see me. But my logo represents me because I want people to see what I represent, before they just look at me and just judge me, because people can be judgmental. So when you're selling your products, you want to put your best foot forward, or you want to have someone represent that product for you. You know what I mean? And it works. Like, I have had people sell my products that did better than me selling my product. Like, it's just what it is. So my wife has done it before. I have her represented, and she has represented my product, or went out and stood out, and it just got more business. Sometimes it's the pretty face, the one, whatever. You know what I mean? It could be a lot of different things that we could throw out there and say, oh, it's this or that. But we have to be humble enough to know that sometimes we have to change things up when we're representing our product. So having it on a different platform, having good photos, having that representation is going to be great when you're building your independence. And I think that's really how you're going to get the bag. So just remember those 3 things, man. You really need to do that, because having that in mind is going to help you really, really understand the process of being independent. You got to start while you're working for someone. You got to start getting your photos together. You have to start, getting your inventory, and you have to also post on different sites. It's just small. You don't have to go big. You ain't got to go all the way out, but you do have to get started. And just like when we doing my container conversions, that's actually a conversion that I actually did, which is HogOn Cafe. When I was doing that conversion, I was also posting photos as I was doing the conversion, offering different services, offering windows, offering doors, offering cutouts, and I got a few jobs while I was doing. I did a few doors. I installed a few doors, so I got a chance to do some work while I was on a project. So I think that's why. So while you're working on something, post what you're doing. Show progress of what you're doing, even on your site. Oh, I do this. Show a photo of you just doing it, even if you just did it today. Oh, this is what I do. Put this on the site. I think that it's wise, because you never know who would need a specific thing. and people are very good with images. People, we tend to believe more, off a photo. They say a photo is worth 1,000 words. You know what I mean? So sometimes it's better to make sure that you get your image out there properly and make sure that you um, get good imagery of what you're doing. So build you a good a portfolio, get you a gallery of things that you have done, things you are doing while you are doing it. You know what I mean? Network it while you are doing something. And I think that's how you're gonna really get that independent money is be naked and not ashamed. It's your hustle. It's like business, you have guidelines, you don't have necessarily rules for just because I do it a certain way don't mean it's going to work for you. And just because I follow him and he did it this certain way, I might can use that and have to tweak it a little bit for it to work for me. You see what I'm saying? So don't get caught up in trying to do something like someone else did it verbatim, or you're going to have to figure out your way. And I most definitely feel like you need to document your process. Like, I can't tell you how many jobs I have got from doing on a job because I was promoting what I was doing while I was on another job doing an independent thing. You know what I mean? Like many jobs, and I remember one guy I was passing through, and this one guy, I never forget this company, this guy I was going through, and he was like, "Man, what you doing, man?" I said, I take pictures of my work. And I was like, "Why?" I said, "Because I know I'm just passing through, and I want to be able to say, yeah, I did this too, even though, I have done it. But at first, I wasn't documenting. When we first got into the social media game, a lot of people wasn't documenting everything." Hold up for a second, brother. Let me get your. Oh, that's a good thing, man. It's a good business. Actually, I got into making dog kennels, and actually, that's something that I'm gonna do in Georgia too because they have a lot of dogs there. And I came up with a design with another guy who actually was selling them in Phoenix, and it was a pretty neat design. And I still got the blueprint. So my goal is to actually kick that off and help people have their customized dog cages to be able to, train or keep them when they're gone from home or to a kennel, what I'm saying, whatever they're doing. So that's a real good thing. But I would most definitely say, man, you have to get started as far as showing your progress of what you're already doing. If you only got one dog, show some photos of the dog that you're getting together. Man, people like to see progress, and you're gonna have to be open. It don't have to be perfect. I think nowadays people like to see the imperfection and the rawness of talent as it develops or as the business go. They just like to see the raw behind the scenes. Like, we so used to Hollywood, they go to the movies for that. When they go to social media and they go to blogs, they want to see the real thing, the real deal. Don't get them wrong. It's nothing wrong with the glamour. You know what I mean? But the main thing is to show the process, to get started, show what you're doing. And I think that's going to really open up doors for you, man. I really think that this year, the road to the independent money is to remember that it's going to take balance. And that's why I always like to say things in threes, because we are threefold being. I believe we are threefold being: mind, body, and soul, mind, body, and spirit. So I believe that we have to network the same way, as a business, as a product, as an individual. You know what I mean? So you get money as an individual on the job to start your business. You get the knowledge from the job to start your business as an individual. You know what I mean? And also, let me say this for the record: as we build and grow, the goal is to always have a business that you control, even though you're going to have different business ventures. Some you just going to have money in, they're going to do their thing. Or some you might be a member on where you just, okay, listen to what's going on and you agree or disagree. But it's going to be one business that you're going to have. This is going to be your baby that you literally got your hands on. If it's teaching, if it's tutoring, is it education, is it development, fabrication, it's going to be something that you do. So whatever it is that you do, I think that it's good to keep your hands involved. Stay involved. You know what I mean? Honestly, stay involved. Especially coming into 2021, because I think that staying involved with your business gives you more insight to grow, gives you more ability to enjoy what you do, to really enjoy the process and really understand what it means to get to each level, because you want to enjoy the levels you go to. Because I can look back on, literally, I can look back on 3 years ago, and man, I see so much progress from where I started, from where I am now. But while I was going through it, I was like, man, I didn't think I was gonna make it through that. And you go through this, and man, you don't think you're gonna make it through that, and you go through that. You see what I'm saying? But it's all about the endurance and knowing what you are. How can I say this? What you are not comparing yourself to, but what you are looking at as far as success. What is success to you? Because some people compare themselves with someone else with success, but the truth be told, you can only compare yourself with you, with your growth and where you been and what you're trying to do. And sometimes, all the time, the things that really matters, you don't tell your left hand what your right hand is doing. You don't do it. So some people will speculate and think, oh, you're not doing as good as me, I'm doing better than this person. But all the time you maintain it, but sometimes you don't. That's one thing I learned about business. Like, you don't want to be like, when we're blind and we really don't know, we want to be flashy, we want to be the one, we want to be that one all the time, and not knowing that one all the time puts you in situations, you know what I mean? And I remember a millionaire in Phoenix told me this, and I never forget it, because he was looking serious when he told me, and we were just talking about business, and I did a service for him. He said, don't get caught up trying to be a big fish in a big pond when you can be a small fish in a big pond. Because when you're a big fish, a lot of people's trying to come and get you. You got lawsuits, you got this and this. You can be as big and still small, running with the school of fish, and they're like, they don't really mean nothing, and you maintain it. And he said he downsized his business name, like he went out and started something small. He'd do better in the independent scale, having an independent LLC. He still got a company, but he ain't all out there like that. And he was like, man, I'm still making the same money, but I don't have I ain't want that no more. You know what I mean? Like, he said it caused too many lawsuits, caused too much drama. It was too many headaches, too many vultures. You know what I mean? So sometimes we can create vultures. We can create people to come after our wealth or after our independence by the way we floss it. You know what I mean? Not saying there's nothing wrong with flossing. I just think it's a time and a place for everything. But when you're most definitely building your independence, getting that independent money, man, you wanna look like the old man who walked into the store. I'm gonna tell you a small story. Old man that walked into the jewelry store to buy his wife a nice ring, and she'd been talking about this certain diamond ring, and he was like, you know what, one day I'm gonna go to town and I'm gonna get this ring for her. And to the people that the lady that was in there, and actually the lady ended up getting fired, actually, behind the situation. But she ended up being judgmental at the old man. He come in there and say, hey, I wanted to see this ring. She trying to show him rings that's cheap, and he was like, no. My bad, having a few troubles with the internet. The man was a millionaire, so he paid for the ring instantly, and they ended up firing the woman for judging the man, because he was an old farmer, but he had pocket full of money, but he didn't look like he had money at all. And she judged him, lost her job behind it. And all I want to say is, I think it's cool that that man was able to be humble and be in great fortune like he was, but had to let her know when she tried to put him, like, tried to make, because see, she's a lot of times certain people get a job title and they're dressed for a job title that they really not living that job title life. The people who own that company living that life, but they have to dress certain ways, and you think, ooh, this person, this and this. No, they have to spend that type of money just to look like this to work for them. You know what I mean? They get allowances to look like this. But being independent, we understand the hustle, the grind, the concept of, of what it really means to look like money. You know what I'm saying? What it really means to really get it. You know what I mean? Once you get it. But most people that only got it from a job, they don't want to understand, because you're going to make sacrifices. There's going to be crunch times. It's going to be times you have to push this bill to the side to get this one. That's what it is. Like, you can't. You can't go through history and find no entrepreneur or business owner who didn't eat ramen noodles or had to go back home and stay with mama for a minute to get their money right up. Had to stay with some partners and they all put, pitched in to get their bag up or whatever. So I think that it's important for us to really think like that. So just take those three things in consideration. I just wanted to talk to you about them a little bit. Had a few problems with the internet this morning, but just wanted to say the three things again before I let you go. Make sure you take photos, get a portfolio, a gallery of what you do. Number two, make sure that you have at least one thing in inventory once you start advertising. That way you don't have to get ready because you are already ready, you stay ready. And number three is to make sure you post on online sites and markets of your services and products, because that's how you're going to really get that independent money. Hold on.